Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2021 schedule has been revealed, released, dropped, if you will. There's a lot of words to describe it, but the point is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers full 2021 season schedule is out, and we have a lot to unpack here. Now, all of the information in this video is from Greg Auman on Twitter from The Athletic, so shout out to you, Greg, if you ever watch this video, but everybody's been talking about it. I know I missed all of the content that has already been made today. I was working, but I'm back here now, and I'm making this video, and I know it's late, but it's fine because we get to talk about the schedule, and I'm having a blast. So, let's get started here with the first thing on the screen over at the right-hand side, and that is the preseason games. All three Bucs preseason games are listed as Saturday night games versus the Bengals on August 14th, versus the Titans on August 21st, and then finally at the Texans on August 28th. So, first thing right off the bat, looking at the Bengals August 14th, don't know if Joe Burrow is going to be playing in that game. That would be nice to see Joe Burrow in some preseason football, but it's going to be the Buccaneers' first chance to see Kyle Trask potentially play at quarterback. Now, there's going to be a lot of guys who are going to be, getting quarterback snaps. You have Blaine Gabbert, who's going to be getting some opportunities, Ryan Griffin, who's going to be getting some opportunities as well, but you would figure that Kyle Trask is probably going to be up there in terms of guys getting the most snaps in the preseason game. So that's going to be very exciting just to see Kyle Trask as well as all the other rookies. Joe Tryon, Robert Hainsey, Jaelon Darden. Yes, please. I'm going to be very interested to see how a Kyle Trask and Jaelon Darden combination works in the preseason, as well as all the other guys like Calvin Ashley, TJ Simmons, Sam Renner, John Molchon, as well as some of the other young guys both on offense and on defense playing in these preseason games. It all starts with Cincinnati versus the Bengals. Saturday night is not a bad time either. It gives everybody a good a chance to watch the game, if you will, because it's past the work week. Everybody has Sunday the next day. They don't have to worry about going to bed at too late of a time. Saturday night's a pretty good time. So Bengals, maybe we'll see Joe Burrow, but hey, we'll at least get to see a lot of the Bucs rookies, and yes, please to that. Then they play the Titans. That should be a good game as well. Again, just seeing more backups, and the same thing can be said with the Texans, which that's going to have a little bit more spice to it, given, the quarterback situation. Let's see what goes on with that. They have a lot of guys now. Tyrod Taylor is there. I've always been a big Tyrod Taylor guy, so it's going to be fun to see him out there, as well as some other quarterbacks in there as well. So that should be a lot of fun just to see all three of these preseason games. Watch the backups get a lot of good, healthy playing time, and see what the Buccaneers got in terms of depth, as well as easing the starters into, getting ready for regular season action. But now we get to the big one, and this is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2021 regular season schedule, and it goes as follows. Week 1 versus the Cowboys. We already talked about that. That should be a very good game between two playoff-ready teams right now. Obviously, the Buccaneers being one, and the Cowboys maybe being another one as well if they are fully healthy. Week 2, you get the Falcons, which is going to be a very interesting matchup. Will Julio Jones still be on the team? Who knows? At the time of this recording, it is definitely a little bit murky, but Kyle Pitts will still be a guy that'll be very interesting. I mean, him versus Levante David and Devin White. We'll talk about that another time, but the Falcons are trying to do some interesting things, trying to get back into the playoff picture and whatnot. The Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champs. Division matchups are always fun. Then versus the Rams at week 3, that's potentially an NFC championship matchup right there, because the Rams, they added Matthew Stafford. They're looking real good on defense still. I know they've lost some pieces, but the defense still looks strong, at least on paper, and the offense got better, swapping out Jared Goff with Matthew Stafford. That is, a potential NFC championship game right there, so that's going to be a banger. Then you got the Patriots at week 4, and man, we'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that one when we're talking about the primetime games. But Patriots at week 4, that one's going to be amazing. Dolphins at week 5, going to be a very interesting matchup. Tua's going to be there. The Dolphins really should have been a playoff team last year, so this is another playoff type matchup, which should be a lot of fun. Two playoff teams going head to head. The Eagles in week 6. The Eagles are still working on some stuff. They're going to have Jalen Hurts at quarterback now. We'll see where they're at week 6 with Hurts under center. That should be interesting regardless. Bears week 7, a revenge game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, considering how things went last year with Tom Brady, where you got the meme of the, oh, it's 4th down. You know, obviously Tom took all those memes and told them to shove it. So, you know, that will be a revenge game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, trying to get some revenge. Also, you know, we'll probably see, definitely some improved Bears team, you know, with Justin Fields obviously being the quarterback now. He should be the starter by that point. If not, he won't be the starter. If he isn't the starter by the week 1. So that should be interesting to see Justin Fields, see what the Bears are doing there by week 7. And then you have the Saints at week 8. That one is also another one that explains itself. Jameis Winston playing against his old team now as a full-time starter, not just as a backup. We'll see where the Saints are by week 8. Is Jameis going to be the starter? Is Taysom Hill going to be the starter? You know, what's going to happen with that situation? That should be a lot of fun. But, you know, there's a very strong chance that this is going to be full-time Saints starting quarterback Jameis Winston versus his old team. And that's a fun matchup, man. That is a fun matchup. The Saints, while they lost a lot of very strong role players, they still have a lot of their top guys. Their depth took a huge hit from this past offseason, but the key pieces are still there, just a new quarterback at the helm. So we'll see where the Saints are by week 8 with Jameis Winston under the helm. That's a storyline dream right there. Then they have the bye week in week 9. Not a bad spot for the bye week. I've seen some people say, you know, hey, 9, 10, or 11 for the bye week is fine with us, and I agree with that. I think that week 9 is a pretty solid bye week, you know, pretty much right, kind of smack dab in the middle of what's going on throughout the season. Can't really complain too much with that. You would want it later, so the Buccaneers are a little bit fresher going into the playoffs, but, you know, middle of the season, it is what it is. You know, this has kind of been a common theme for the defending Super Bowl champs. They have had their bye weeks in weeks 9, 10, or 11. The Buccaneers are no different. Then they play Washington in week 10 at Washington. This again is a playoff rematch. The Buccaneers won against the Washington football team in the playoffs last year. Now Washington will try and get revenge with Ryan Fitzpatrick under the helm, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, who a lot of people loved in Tampa Bay in the fan base. And again, that should be a very solid matchup, another playoff matchup there. Then against the Giants in week 11, that's always fun. Tom Brady playing the Giants is always great. And also people are still very sour about that game a couple of years ago when Matt Gay missed the game-winning field goal. So that should be a good one as well. The Colts at week 12, that again, I mean, that's going to be a good game. You know, depending on where the Colts are, you know, in terms of Carson Wentz and how he's progressing, if he gets back to his form, I mean, that could be a dark horse Super Bowl matchup. I'm dead serious on that. If Carson Wentz comes back strong, Colts could be a Super Bowl contending team, and that could be a preview of a Super Bowl matchup, you know? So Colts are always a good team. They you know, have got a great roster on their hands with Chris Ballard doing his thing. Falcons again at week 13. Then you got the Bills in week 14, which again, I was excited about this matchup. I mean, the Bills, you know, I like what they do. I like Josh Allen. I like some of the pieces they have on offense. I like some of the guys they have on defense as well. And that one should just be a very good team. Again, another potential Super Bowl matchup there between the Bills and Bucs. Saints again in week 15. Panthers in week 16. Waited a really, really long time to play the Panthers, but this does happen sometimes with the Bucs where they play, you know, the Falcons 2 times in 3 weeks, or sometimes it's the Saints 2 times in 3 weeks. And, you know, this year it's the Panthers. They play the Panthers in week 16. They play the Panthers in week 18, and then the Jets in week 17. You know, see Zach Wilson, see what the Jets are doing in week 17. So for those last 3 games, it's Panthers, Jets, and then finish off the regular season with the Panthers, which should be good matchups. Division rivals are always fun, and then the Jets are a young team with a new head coach. They've got a lot going on as well. Should be very interesting. And overall, guys, I mean, all these games are going to be good just because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in it. They're the defending Super Bowl champions, so that automatically will want to make you watch. But a lot of these teams, you know, are going to be some very compelling matchups. I mean, you look at the Cowboys, Rams, Patriots, Dolphins. You take a look at, you know, the Washington football team. Both games against the Saints are going to be interesting. You know, that Colts game should be very good. The Bills game is going to be very good. I mean, this is a very fun schedule, guys. I mean, there are a lot of fun teams on there. A lot of, like, you know, very competitive teams that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be going head-to-head against. You know, kind of tell me what game you guys are looking forward to the most out of this schedule. If I had to guess, I'm going to say the Bills game will probably be, one of my favorite games to watch. Washington football team's game as well is going to be a very fun game to watch. And then the Saints games, of course, because of all the storylines with that. And then, finally, Rams and Patriots. Those will be some good games as well. But finally, guys, to kind of cap off this video, we've talked about the preseason games. We've talked about all the regular season games. But now let's talk about the primetime games right here. The Buccaneers have 5 of them in 2021, opening week 1, Thursday versus the Cowboys. That's a primetime game that also kicks off the regular season. We've already talked about that. It's going to be a good game in my opinion. That's some good football. Week 4 versus the Patriots is a primetime game. Tom Brady going back to his old team away. It's not like this game is in Tampa. If it was in Tampa, it would still mean a lot, but it wouldn't have the same effect of Tom Brady going back into his old stadium in a new uniform as the defending Super Bowl champion. I mean, that has so many stinking storylines in it. I mean, everybody's been talking about it to death. So I'm not going to talk about it to death too much, but I mean, this could be the most anticipated game of the year for a lot of Bucs fans, and that would not surprise me at all. I mean, it's up there for me. It's in my top 4. So I mean, Tom Brady going back to his old place to play his old team, his old coach, Belichick. Yeah, we're all watching that, and that deserved to be a primetime game, 1,000%. Next, you have Week 6, Thursday at the Eagles. That one's a little surprising. I get it. It's Thursday night football. Bucs versus Eagles, though. We'll see where both teams are at by Week 6. The Eagles, I'm not going to, throw any stones here, cast any, insane judgment, but I feel like the Eagles are, a couple of steps away from being a, super competitive kind of playoff team, and I feel like whenever you think about primetime matchups, you think about teams that are like, both playoff ready teams, both ready to just go head to head and have this insanely competitive matchup. And the Eagles, they're still trying to figure out what they got in Jalen Hurts, who I love Jalen Hurts. He's a dog. He's got that mentality, but you feel like the Eagles just aren't really, ready enough right now. So we'll see how it goes in primetime. It kind of reminds me of the Bears game from last year in a way. I mean, obviously the Buccaneers lost that game, so you never know. This could end up being an absolute banger. Week 11, Monday Night Football versus the Giants. That should be a fun one. They're kind of in a similar boat to the Eagles. They feel like they're maybe a couple of steps away, but I feel like they did more in the offseason than the Eagles to kind of try and push them into that playoff trajectory, but still, Tom Brady versus the Giants. Still a lot of people have a sour taste in their mouth from a couple of years ago whenever the Bucs played the Giants. Matt Gay missed that game-winning field goal. So, yeah, I can see a lot of people tuning into this game and, just hoping the Buccaneers crush the Giants there. Will it happen? Who knows? But that should be a fun game. And then finally, Week 15 versus the Saints. Yeah, I mean, I would have been upset if one of those Saints games was not in prime time. I'm a little upset that it wasn't the first one, though. I am a little upset that it wasn't the first one. You look at the schedule here, you see that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Saints all the way in Week 8. I would have rather had maybe that game as a primetime game on a Thursday Night Football rather than the Eagles game because, you get that for, and then, have that Sunday night game and, for something else. But, you would have gotten that first game of Jameis versus the Bucs, and I know people are going to say, come on, stop talking about Jameis, but he's the starting quarterback for the Saints now. It's worth bringing up, and he's the former quarterback of the Bucs. It's all worth bringing up, guys. So I would have rather had that first game, but the second game, should still be very good as well. I'm sure both these teams will be, battling, possibly for control of the NFC South at that point. We'll see what the Saints are up to. I still think that they can be a very competitive team, and that should be some fun football in of itself. We still get a primetime game of, former quarterback versus his old team, much like what the Buccaneers will be facing earlier on in the season with Tom Brady versus the Patriots. Well, the Bucs are also going to have to deal with, Jameis Winston versus his old team being the Bucs themselves. So, cool storylines in a lot of these primetime games, cool stories in just a lot of these games, period. And overall, this is a very fun schedule, guys. I mean, there's a lot of really good games in there. There's going to be a lot of really good football played, and I'm very excited to see how all of this shakes out. But what do you guys think about this schedule? Let me know down in the comment section below. Here is it one more time. You have got Bengals August 14th, Titans August 21st, and Texans August 28th as your 3 preseason games. Look out for the rookies in those. You then got the 2021 schedule as follows: Cowboys, Falcons, Rams, Patriots, Dolphins, Eagles, Bears, Saints, bye week, Washington, Giants, Colts, Falcons, Bills, Saints, Panthers, Jets, and Panthers again. Also, there is that extra game added, but we all know that at this point the Colts were that extra game. And then finally, you got your primetime games here: Cowboys, Patriots, Eagles, Giants, and Saints. Overall, I'm a big fan of this. The one thing I might have changed is maybe not make that Eagles game primetime. Maybe would have had that first Saints game be a primetime. And then honestly, I mean, hey, why not have the Jets game be primetime? Or honestly, why not have the Bills game be primetime? You know, I would have had the first Saints game be a primetime game, and then I would have had that Bills game be a primetime game instead of that Week 15 game versus the Saints. But that's just my opinion. I would have had Cowboys, Patriots, Saints, round 1, Giants, and then Bills as the primetime games, and that would have been pretty darn fun, in my opinion. But what do you guys think about this whole schedule? Let me know down in the comments section below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Again, overall, I think this is going to be an absolute blast. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.